talking winners and losers from the first Cowboys preseason game of the year. The Cowboys coming up short against the Rams, 31-21. We'll break down the good and the not good in this particular matchup. But first, if you want more watch parties and instant reactions and winners and losers from all the different Cowboys preseason games, and of course daily videos, share today's show. More shares we get, more views we get, the more videos we get to do in the end. No particular order on these particular Cowboys winners. I'm going to begin with Marist Liufau, the linebacker, because he made the very first play of the game on special teams. He made the tackle. Liufau didn't play that much in the end. Looking at the early PFF numbers, I've got him at 23 total snaps on defense. No special teams data. I thought he played great. I thought he was consistently around the football, impactful. The linebackers in general I thought were pretty good, but I thought Liufau was the most impressive of any of them up front. How about the guy the Cowboys signed on Friday? I almost said yesterday, but today's Sunday, obviously. Malik Davis got into the game late in the fourth quarter in mostly garbage time for a preseason. I acknowledge all of that. 7 carries, 63 yards. Frankly, both Malik Davis and Cody Schrader showcased some good stuff. You know, Malik Davis run like a guy who didn't want to be cut. I liked what I saw from Davis. You know, he's faces almost impossible path to make the Cowboys 53-man roster, but he played well. Tip of the cap to Malik Davis in this one. And in general, I thought all your backs played pretty well. You know, the Cowboys, I question in general how much real competition is going on, just like based on who got to play when. But Javonte Williams did not play. Clearly a starter right now at running back. You know, with Miles Sanders, Jaden Blue banged up, Cowboys didn't even give Williams a chance to play. Lipke did not play. Deuce Vaughn came out in the first quarter and then just didn't do a lot. 2 carries, 11 yards, had another 7-yard gain called back by a holding penalty. Phil Mafah ran hard at 10 carries, 36 yards, had 2 catches for 15 yards. I want to see him involved more in the passing game, so I actually did appreciate that. But Malik Davis, 7 carries, 63 yards. That's some good stuff out of a guy signed a day before the game. That's actually, I think, pretty impressive. So good job there, Malik Davis. Who is your biggest Cowboys winner in the first preseason game of the year for Dallas? Any player, coach, if you want to go that route, let me know in the comments of today's show. It's a pinned comment, by the way. Offensive line. Look, there were penalties. We will discuss that later on in today's show that do bring down the grade. The starting 5 did not play. Obviously, Guyton is banged up. Tyler Smith, Beebe, Booker, Steele did not play. Did anyone notice Nathan Thomas being an issue? I sure didn't. I'll watch the All-22 later today once it comes out. I thought that Austin Richards, 2 penalties hurt him, but he never got beat in pass protection. I thought Lyle Collins, the penalty hurt him, but he was pretty solid in his handful of snaps. Ajani Cornelius, I thought, actually kind of played well. Brock Hoffman, Jerry Christian did not play great. He had 2 penalties. Big red flag for me there. Sidney Charles got banged up, but TJ Bass played well. In total, this is the early PFF grades, 3 pressures allowed in total for the Dallas Cowboys. That's it. One of them by a tight end. I thought the offensive line did a pretty good job. You know, they in total, the Cowboys averaged a pretty good heaping of yards on the ground. It was, 5.5 yards per carry. I thought the Cowboys' run game was overall pretty good. I thought the pass protection was even better. I thought the offensive line played good in this one. Let's go back to defense. How about Zion Childress, who did not get the start early on with the nickel, but this might be a 2-man nickel corner race right now. We'll talk about the other guy that I was very impressed by in this particular matchup in a little bit. But I thought Zion Childress was a little bit better than what Kamon Hall was. Kamon Hall got beat in coverage a couple times. Not really out of Zion Childress. I'm looking at the advanced PFF numbers here. They say 2 for 21, but was better than what Kamon Hall was. And he made the TFL. He was a good run support player. If looking for a guy to be like a nickel safety hybrid, I do think Zion Childress showcased some stuff tonight. Or Saturday night, excuse me. We're filming this after the game, but still. Cowboys jerseys are available on sale. Chatsports.com/DAL jersey. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. Sometimes they're discounted to 20% off. Not always, but plenty of times. You want to rep your favorite player for the Cowboys? Go get your jersey today. It's chatsports.com/DAL jersey. Thought Leafoul was the number one winner. Thought Izzy Mukuamu was pretty damn good too. Had the awesome interception. I tweeted this out, and I stand by it. Every single time you give Israel Mukuamu a chance to play in a football game, he makes a play. It's all he does. All he does is make plays. I don't know if he's a gamer versus a practice player. We'll talk about the other corners later on tonight. Izzy makes plays. He's tall, he's long, he can do inside and outside stuff. I have a tough time from what I've seen in games, the shit that matters, going, he is not your third best healthy corner right now. I have a tough time not seeing that. Sticking on defense here, Darius Harris, the linebacker. There were several times in the game doing the play-by-play stuff. I'm like, there's Darius Harris making a play. 5 tackles, a TFL in this one. Thought he played pretty well. You know, Zion Childress led the team in tackles. Darius Harris was tied for third or fourth. He also offers great special teams value. The linebackers in general, outside of Cody Schrader, getting going in the fourth quarter because Schrader boosted that yardage above 5 yards per carry. Without him, you know, Jarquez Hunter 3.7, Blake Corum 3.6. Like the actual running backs, I think they got gassed a little bit. Thought they did pretty well in terms of the run defense. Fourth quarter was an issue. Don't get me wrong. What about Harris, Shamar James, even heck at edge, Ezaraku? Thought he played pretty well in this one. We will have more Cowboys videos for you each and every single day, so make sure you are subscribed here on the Cowboys Report, youtube.com/CowboysTV. I'm going to put Traeshon Holden among my winners in this matchup for the Dallas Cowboys. I was thinking about putting him as a loser because he is clearly behind others on the depth chart, and I do think that is something worth mentioning as we discuss who can make the 53-man roster. But he made 2 nice catches again. He caught every pass his way. I want to see more of Traeshon Holden. He should not be buried behind some of these other receivers. Get him more playing time. I think he's flashed in training camp, flashed again in the preseason. He was good when he was out there. Let's give him some more run. How about Will Grier? The Thrill Grier did it again, man. He's not ever going to be a real starting QB. I think, like, against actual starter competition, the issues show up. But he was 2 of 3 for 14 yards, subbing in for the injured. I think he's going to be okay. Joe Milton had the electric 8-yard touchdown run as well. If you were only judging on the small sample size from Will Grier tonight and Joe Milton tonight, we'll discuss in a little bit, Will Grier was better. There's no arguing otherwise. Now, that doesn't mean that Milton's not going to be better moving forward. You don't want Milton as QB2. That's all fine. Who would you pick right now as your backup quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys? WG for Will Grier, JM for Joe Milton. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Who would you pick as the backup quarterback right now? WG for Will Grier, JM for Joe Milton. Look, I'm going to put Brian Schottenheimer on the loser side. I think the stuff that he can't control Joe Milton, airmail, and a wide open Ryan Flanoy. It's fine. The stuff he should be able to control, I didn't love. I'm not talking about the play calling. I don't care about the play calling. I'm talking about, like, you kick 2 field goals on 4th down in the red zone. Why? Who gives a shit? I know what Brandon Aubrey is. You weren't playing your starting special teams unit anyway. You had 11 penalties. You had like 8 penalties in the first quarter and a half, and they were all pre-snap stuff. You were ultra conservative, like when you should have been aggressive in the preseason. Why? You had a bunch of penalties again. Why? You got your ass kicked to begin the game. Why? It's all backups versus backups. I'm not gonna hear arguments like, oh, it's your backups. Their 3rd string quarterback was out there and he cooked you. Be better. I expect better. Otherwise, I'm going to have concerns. Who is your biggest Cowboys preseason loser in week 1 against the Rams? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. One of my, honestly, kind of favorite players relative to expectations. I was very disappointed by Markquese Bell tonight. He had 3 tackles, but he had a rough go in coverage. He had a bad penalty. He just, I didn't like what I saw from Markquese Bell in coverage. I was hoping for Bell or Wanye Thomas to start pushing for Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker's jobs. Didn't see it tonight. That's pretty darn disappointing. Joe Milton. I mean, this is an obvious loser, right? This wasn't good enough. It's not. 17 of 29 for 143 and a score and a pick. He began the game, let me double check my notes here, 4 of 10, I believe, for 4 yards, and he had negative net 4 passing yards. Come on, man. Be better than that. He was 1 of 4 under pressure. There were guys open. You can go back and watch. Ryan Flanoy is wide open, and he misses him. On non-play action throws, he was 11 of 21 for 114 yards and the touchdown, which was nice. But non-screen, 13 of 25 for 134 and a touchdown and a pick. The arm strength is awesome. The athletic ability is great. You can go back and watch our training camp, minicamp stuff. When I talk about the Joe Milton experience, this is what I meant. The traits are there. It's the actual consistency. It's the touch. It's the accuracy that's not there. Will it develop? We'll see. But if you were one of the crazy people thinking he was going to take Dak Prescott's job, come on. That was never actually in play. And you saw why tonight. Hoping he's better in week 2. So grade Joe Milton against the Rams. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. The cornerbacks. I tweeted this out mid-game. I stand by it. I am not confident in this group. I thought Izzy Mukuamu played quite well. But the reality is that right now, one of the guys who was out there tonight, unless Traeshon Holden can get healthy, is going to start for you against the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't have confidence. Robert Rochelle played 5 snaps, and I don't think he got hurt. I think he got benched. He got cooked, and they're like, we're done. Nope, this is not it. Andrew Booth. He's still Andrew Booth. Troy Pride was a little bit quieter. Maybe that's a good thing. Didn't notice him too much. But, I don't think that nickel corner Kamon Hall did that much. Stetson Bennett had a nice game. 16 of 24 for 188 and 2 scores. He had almost double the yards per attempt of Joe Milton and had it tripled for a majority of the game. I think it was very good. 2 more losers. And not that they played bad, but that they played at all in this one. The Cowboys did not start any of their top 11 offensive players. All 5 offensive linemen. Then Dak, Javonte Williams, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb. They did not play Kevontae Turpin, but they did play Jalen Tolbert. I think that is indicative of where he is at on the depth chart, where he is kind of fighting for a wide receiver 3 role. It was 19 snaps. It's a bubble screen that didn't go anywhere. Why do it? Defensively, the Cowboys again didn't play their starters really outside of Mazi Smith. I thought he was mostly fine. I thought he clearly outplayed Jay Toia. So he got, I think, run down late. I don't think 40 snaps is a good idea for Jay Toia, but he played. That, I think, again, I mentioned pregame stuff. Guys who play is an indication of where they're at on the depth chart. I think Mazi and Tolbert are fighting for a spot, or at least a role for this Dallas Cowboys team.